air. Gold bells shining, they all dare. Tougher, fists held high. Warriors fight till the night says die. FWE, where battles divine. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. FWE, where battles define. Every broken bone, all by design. Chained to the thrill, they let it be. This ain't a game, it's FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE. Oh, FWE, FWE.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's episode of FWE Extra as we continue to relive the moments that took place at Paramount and now look forward towards Fallout. I'm Seth Cole alongside of Jack Mitchell, the Tri-Wizard champion. And Jack, we're going to kick things off here tonight with some individuals that did not necessarily fare as well. We're on the losing side of some matchups during Paramount, but they got an opportunity here tonight to be the number one contender for the United States Championship.
Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds, Carlos
The ring announcer Mike Rome finished his job there, but yeah, absolutely a great chance for these guys to immediately regain momentum, earn a number one contender spot, so this should be a big match here for these guys tonight.
Carlos Zimmerman, he was involved in what was originally supposed to be a triple threat, turned into a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Robbie Gilbin went in champion, left champion. So Carlos now shifts his sights in the mid-card picture from the IC title to the United States Championship.
Twisted grin sharp as a knife. Breaking chaos, stealing life.
and his opponents. First, from parts unknown, weighing in at 103 pounds, Eerie.
Gentlemen, to my right might have had something to do with Ernie the Keebler Elf being on the losing end at Paramount. Of course, Ernie winning the Royal Rumble challenged you for the Tri-Wizard Championship in our main event.
Yeah, he did, and I did ultimately end up turning him aside. It was a pretty back and forth matchup. Surprised that Ernie didn't really do any of his underhanded tactics that we were expected to see out of him tonight, but we know he's got a little bit of a mean streak, so curious to see if he tries and pulls anything shady tonight, I guess we'll say.
Think about the situation here as well. Current holder of the United States Championship is Matt McIntyre of the family. If you recall back in the early days of FWE, these two went to war. If Ernie somehow, some way becomes the number one contender for the United States Championship here tonight, we may be reliving that. We may end up going into World War II.
I mean, I don't want to be anywhere near Matt McIntyre right now. Probably watching this match and hoping if it's anyone else.
I think he's probably like, add a couple more people in there, make the odds worse that Ernie doesn't win.
It is a fatal four-way. No DQ.
That is true. Yeah, he could, if he wanted to, he could get involved and, you know, in a way determine the outcome. We know the family is certainly not foreign from getting involved in matchups in the past.
Yeah, if they can get that numbers game on their side, you never know. Although I'm not sure they would have much of a numbers game right now, to be honest, considering what happened at Paramount.
Great point. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a few moments.
Representing the Order from Leeds, England, weighing in at 285 pounds, Hagen.
So this would be an interesting scenario because in the case for Hagrid, the individual that he lost to at Paramount was none other than Matt McIntyre when he challenged for the United States Championship. So there's a possibility if Hagrid is able to be victorious here tonight, we may run that matchup back again.
There it is, and I think it's also worth pointing out that Hagrid was the winner of that matchup in that's an 8-man battle royal match that Matt himself chose the competitors in that match. So kind of an interesting scenario. If he wins, we get another rematch. It's a man that Matt chose to face in the past.
Excellent point here is this time tonight we knew he was going to be here.
Yeah, we did. We knew he was going to be here on last week's full episode, and now he's here once again.
Tucson, Arizona, weighing in at 236 pounds,
Almeida's triumphant return to Paramount was involved in that matchup for the Intercontinental Championship. RJ Bishop now with an opportunity to fight for the United States Championship. RJ Bishop, we talked about his career here in FWE, and he is obviously a well-decorated tag team individual, but he's yet to hold a singles championship in FWE. So we saw him unsuccessful for the Intercontinental Championship, might be able to get himself in the #1 contendership for the United States Championship. And while we talk about, you know, the bad blood between Ernie the Keebler Elf and Matt McIntyre, there's not exactly a whole lot of love lost between RJ Bishop and Matt McIntyre either.
Absolutely. I mean, we could see those two squaring off in the future at some point. As we all know, the explosive return RJ had at Paramount, making that triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship a fatal 4-way. This time, we know it's going to be a fatal 4-way.
Opportunity for one of these four men to get back into the win column after the unsuccessful route they took leaving Paramount. One of these four is going to be the #1 contender for the United States Championship, which I'm being told will end up being defended at Saturday Night at Springfield. That'll be next year on the 3rd of January, a couple of episodes after our upcoming PLE at Fallout.
And McIntyre will have a little bit of time to plan and prepare for this matchup. And a nice opportunity to scout film on these guys as well. Ernie being lifted around by Hagrid. That should not really come as much of a surprise when you look at the size difference between the two.
Hagrid brings the power game for sure. Certainly looking at the four individuals, he would certainly be the one that would have the advantage in terms of strength as RJ Bishop. One count there on Carlos Zimmerman.
Oh, man.
Big hit there with the kendo stick by Hagrid. That's another thing that we have to remember with it being a fatal 4-way. There's no disqualifications, there's no count out, so we're gonna see a lot of this action spill out right outside of the ring, right in front of us here. Oh gosh, well, front row seat of that spinning right hand, discus forearm by Hagrid to Ernie.
I was about to say, I'm not sure Hagrid needs the weapons as he tosses him right into the steel steps. And I was gonna mention too, look out here.
Armbar locked in there by RJ Bishop after the Hurricane Rana setup, but now, oh, there's the power again.
I was gonna mention that if Hagrid was a little bit too focused on Ernie ringside, there were only 2 men left in the ring. If either one of them went for a pinfall or submission, it would have counted, so. Now the same sort of deal applies with Ernie and Carlos. They're busy fighting each other ringside, but if we got a cover on the inside, they're gonna have to pay as quick attention as they possibly can. Or if they quickly shift where they're going to get back in the ring and try to break up the pin.
Big knee there on the outside by Carlos Zimmerman. Meanwhile, inside the ring, Hagrid continues to wear RJ Bishop down. He's going up top. The big man's gonna fly. Oh, scores with the elbow right into the sternum. And I think Carlos may have scored with that kendo shot there.
Yeah, I think that kendo stick is what broke that pinfall up. Brought right back down by Hagrid, but look out behind you.
He's coming in from behind. Carlos spotted him, catches him. Thought he was going to go maybe and put him in the tree of woe, but instead lower back into the top turnbuckle, flings him into the cover, and a kick out at 1. One of the 2 matchups we've got here tonight. We're going to see women's tag team action here in tonight's main event as we're looking to potentially determine the future #1 contenders for the Women's Disney Tag Team titles. Belle and Rapunzel going to be in action tonight against the Daughters of Thanos, Team Let It Go, and Mystery Incorporated. It's going to be an eliminator-style matchup, kind of similar to what we saw a few months ago. I believe it was back when Mystery Incorporated ended up winning the tag team titles in that type of a matchup. But the stipulation here tonight is if Belle and Rapunzel are victorious, if they are the last team standing, then Team Let It Go, Mystery Incorporated, and the Daughters of Thanos will not be able to fight for the tag team titles so long as the Disney Queens have them in their possession. And we're just kind of thinking about that scenario. That's a good chunk of our women's tag team division that's out of the title picture there for the time being, if indeed the Disney Queens come out on top.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk a lot about how there have never been a multi-time women's Disney Tag Team Championship team. So imagine if they win this matchup tonight, they take a lot of people out of contention for those tag team titles.
Absolutely. RJ, nice move there into the Hurricane Rana, dropping Ernie on his head, going in for the cover. Nobody around to break it up, and Ernie able to kick out at 1.
Hagrid just got tossed into the steel steps.
Carlos there on the far side under the ring. He's got himself a steel chair. Oh my gosh!
I guess those people in the front row are lucky that he connected with that toss.
I've tried talking to FW management, putting signs around the ring saying warning, flying objects may occur. Case in point right there. I believe that RJ may have also just hit Ernie with a steel chair, and now nice heel kick there to Carlos.
And now Ernie has RJ lined up. Rolled over armbar. RJ able to roll out of it.
Surprising there. It looked like Referee Ernest Wright was looking for seeing if RJ wanted to tap out, and Carlos did nothing to break that submission up.
And Carlos was probably pretty confident. Oh, RJ's going to get a receipt right there.
A big move there by Carlos. Cover is in here on Hagrid to be the #1 contender for the United States Championship. And Carlos is going to eliminate Hagrid.
This is an elimination style matchup, so it's not first pinfall or submission to win it. That's probably why they didn't make any moves to break it up.
That's a great point. Didn't even think about that. You let everybody else do your dirty work in this type of a matchup here. Facebuster by RJ Bishop to Carlos Zimmerman. But we do know at least that we aren't going to be running back our matchup from Paramount. Hagrid heading to the back.
True, so Matt McIntyre is going to have a new challenger for that United States Championship. Ooh! I think it was a Spanish fly of some sort.
It was indeed. For all three of these individuals as well. Whoever it is that ends up winning is RJ. Gut first into the corner of those steel steps. It'll be the first time that they will fight for the United States Championship, depending on who ends up becoming the #1 contender here. Is RJ still down from that steel stair shot? Now Carlos into him as well.
Everybody getting sent into those steel steps. Those things are going to have to probably be replaced at some point by the time we're done here. Ooh. DDT on the floor ringside. There's not a whole lot of padding there. You've got that thin layer of red carpeting, and that's it. It's a concrete floor underneath. So these are some painful landings that these guys are taking outside the ring.
Yeah, it's pretty to look at, but it doesn't do much for cushioning at all. I mean, it's bad enough to take a move like that inside of the ring. At least the ring has a slight bit of give with the wood underneath the canvas. Is another DDT there by Ernie. All three of these individuals seem kind of hell-bent upon trying to inflict as much punishment as they can right now before getting inside of the ring. Maybe, especially being a triple threat, take one individual out, make it a one-on-one, so that way that X factor doesn't get involved.
Sent into the middle of the ring. Probably the one thing
Ernest Rudd is
looking for. Where is Ernie going? I don't know what he was looking at. I don't know if he saw a ghost or something, but
maybe he saw a Keebler cookie or something. I don't know, but there was definitely nobody in the vicinity. As a stunner, float over stunner there by RJ Bishop to Carlos Zimmerman. And now this is the kind of scenario that RJ would be looking for. If he can get Ernie into the ring, he might be able to put Ernie away, and Carlos wouldn't be able to get involved. Well, then again, I'm kind of thinking of this as a scenario of a regular triple threat, though, because I keep forgetting this is an elimination style matchup. So just because RJ would have a cover on Ernie doesn't mean that Carlos would actually get involved to break it up.
Absolutely. I mean, if anything, he would just try and get Carlos into the ring and go for a pinfall there. Ernie wouldn't do a whole lot to break it up. Or if he wanted to get Ernie into the ring and go for a cover, as there's a Celine del Sol, I think.
Now Carlos just going to throw Ernie over to the other side of the ring here. Referee Ernest Wright, just like us, a spectator currently. He doesn't have to do anything until the individuals get back between the ropes. Anything goes, no disqualification outside the ring. Reversal there by Ernie, and now and RJ with the same idea there.
Two minds think alike. Ernie on the victorious end of that exchange. Now, DDT on the Carlos.
About the fourth or fifth DDT on the outside that Ernie has hit. Every time I see a head being driven down to the ground, I keep thinking of Hades and Aladdin.
Man. Also seeing a lot of people getting thrown into those steel steps. That's not a very pretty landing.
Oh, speaking of, RJ Bishop now into those steps again.
Carlos also sent in that direction.
I believe RJ's actually been busted open there too, right around the hairline. Might have been from one of those previous Hurricane Ranas from Ernie. That's going to be a target if you're both Ernie and Carlos trying to eliminate RJ from this #1 contendership matchup. Josh, do we have a warranty on these steps?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's kind of worth pointing out as well that, you know, these guys are kind of lucky that this match for the U.S. title isn't going to be until next year, until the next Saturday night at Springfield, because if this match were at, like, Fallout or something, you know, it's not a very long recovery time. These guys are already getting tossed around, landing on the floor, landing into those steel steps, landing on chairs. Speaking of which, I mean, it's just going to be a brutal match. These guys at some point have to work their way back inside the ring.
And I've been told as well, people might be wondering, well, why isn't the U.S. title as, there's a sling blade there by Ernie, followed by a drop kick. People are probably wondering, well, why isn't the U.S. title going to be defended at Fallout? Well, Fallout's got a pretty big card in and of itself, but I ended up learning earlier on tonight from our new FWE Commissioner, Woody, that he's going to give Matt some time here to be able to get his priorities straight, kind of get things figured out, as, of course, we had that whole drama that still is kind of continuing here between the family and now Anthony McCurry. We understand Colt Eastwood may no longer be part of the family, so to kind of get that pun intended family drama sorted away here before he ends up being able to focus his sights on defending that United States Championship. I mean, he had to go into Paramount, getting himself mentally set here, knowing that some fellow faction members and Anthony and Michael were going to be going up against each other later on that night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he was able to get his mind straight, because you've got all that tension brewing in your faction, but at the same time, you've got a title defense to prepare for. So he had his opportunity to focus on the title. It looks like he did that at Paramount. Now, a good call by Woody, allowing him to kind of reset the mental and focus on the drama going on right now in the faction.
What we've had so far here with these three individuals on the outside, can't feel that there's got to be a whole lot left in the tank. When this gets back inside of the ring, I think we're going to probably see some pretty quick attempts at pinfalls or submissions here, because these guys have to be worn out. We have spent maybe the best 3/4 of this matchup with the action taking place on the outside of the ring.
If this is a false count anywhere match, it would be over a lot faster, as Ernie gets sent right into our announce table, but got to work their way back into the ring at some point, and when they do, one move could be all it takes.
Got some steel chairs laying in there as well at their disposal.
Here we go.
Here we go. Reversal by Carlos. RJ back inside the ring. Ernie will join as well, and now
Carlos
Who's
is back
got that?
out, dropped him in the chair.
Who's got that second gear? Oh, man, there's the cutter right on the chair.
RJ's done.
He has to be out. And that means physically as well. My gosh. We're down to 2.
I mean, those stunners aren't pretty as it is. How about one face first onto a steel chair? Oh, I think Ernie's back is about to meet the ring apron.
Back body drop there by Carlos Zimmerman. Now going to take a little time here. Give himself a little bit of a respite.
Oh, no.
Ernie may not want to get to his feet. He won't like the view of what's behind. Carlos up and down with the power bomb. Surprisingly, not putting Ernie back inside of the ring there. Not capitalizing on this moment.
Almost wonder if he thought RJ was in the way.
Laying in the kicks there on Ernie again. I'm almost wondering if it's either that or he's just kind of taking the opportunity to regain some strength. It could be a difference maker in this as a discus forearm.
I mean, whatever your plan is, you don't want to take too long. This is what you want to do, but the longer it takes, you know, the more likely it is Ernie's going to get back up and reverse something. As there you go, his back got dropped right into that chair. Ernie now feels like he has the momentum.
Went for the drop kick there off the ropes. Carlos was able to sidestep it, but he's going to hit the cutter again. Didn't hit the chair, but he did hit the cutter for #1 contendership. Is this going to be it? Yes, it is. Ernie will fight for the United States Championship. We're running it back between him and Matt McIntyre.
Here is your winner,
Carlos Zimmerman, Hagrid, or RJ Bishop, stay as far away from Matt McIntyre as you possibly can.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, the U.S. title now will hang in the balance as we get ready to rekindle this rivalry heading into the new year. Up next, women's tag team action.
Fall out in the air, breathing poison everywhere. Fall out, can't escape. We built a fire, now feel its weight.
Oh, welcome back here to FWE Extra. Getting ready for tonight's main event.
The following is a fatal four-way tag team match. Introducing first, the Women's Superstars Tag Team Champions, the Queens.
Here you see the women's Disney Tag Team Champions. Belle and Rapunzel successfully defended those titles at Paramount against the Daughters of Thanos. Titles not on the line here tonight, but an opportunity here for the 3 teams also involved in this matchup to maybe get into #1 contendership status. Opportunity here tonight for the Disney Queens to turn back 3 former tag team championship duos.
The title belts are not on the line tonight, but what is on the line is an opportunity for these two to continue to assert their dominance in the women's tag team division.
And their opponents, first, the Spitfire
Anna and Elsa, former tag team champions in their own right. You know, this is a big risk here tonight as well. If you're these 3 challenging teams, you're in a sense saying, hey, I'm willing to risk another opportunity at the Women's Disney Tag Team titles at the expense of maybe, who knows how long, never being able to challenge for those tag team titles again. They are going to then have to become cheerleaders for some other tag team here in FWE to take those titles off of the Disney Queens for them to get back into any conversation to fight for the belts.
Absolutely. I mean, at some point, too, you're going to start running out of opponents if you're the Disney Queens. So, almost wonder what the scenarios are going to be, depending on who wins this matchup.
Now, if I have to give any team the advantage in this matchup, it would have to be Mystery Incorporated, because if we go back to the last time we had a tag team matchup like this with the elimination stipulation, it was Mystery Incorporated that came out on top. I believe Daphne was the next to last person that was eliminated. Mystery Incorporated had a 2-on-1 advantage, and Velma was able to finish off the deal, allowing the Mystery Incorporated to hold the tag team titles for the first time in their FWE career. So they've been here before with this type of match, this type of stipulation.
Absolutely, the experience will be very, very helpful in a matchup like this.
And their opponents, the Bad Girls.
Now the Daughters of Thanos, as we documented, unsuccessful in claiming the women's Disney Tag Team titles at Paramount. Opportunity here tonight, if they're able to win this Eliminator match, to run it back, have another shot. You mentioned it earlier, the fact that we've yet to have multi-time women's tag team champions. Got an opportunity here with our 3 challenging teams to become the number 1 contender for that to happen. In a sense, these teams are giving up title opportunities for an opportunity to make FWE history.
Absolutely. It really just makes the tag team picture on the women's side that much more interesting, because if one of the challenging teams wins it, then we have a guaranteed title match in the future, but at the same time, that also takes losing tag teams out of that picture. So if the champions end up retaining, I mean, that just makes things even more complicated.
Here we go. 8 women, all at the same time, tornado-style rules. We're looking for pinfall submissions. That would be elimination, but it does not mean that your entire team is eliminated if you get pinned or submitted. As here we go. Here's a cover by Velma on Rapunzel. That would have been huge, taking out one half of the current tag team champions.
Immediately putting them at a disadvantage would have been massive. It's just a little bit too early, but as we always say with those early pin or submission attempts, maybe it's a mental thing.
To kind of keep track of everything that's going on. All 8 women at the exact same time. Field starts getting thinned out. It'll be a little bit easier to cover everything that's going on. I do not in any way envy referee Ernest Wright right now, as he's going to have to look through this sea of humanity to see if shoulders are down or if submissions are locked in.
I mean, I'm getting reminded of that match that we had to start off Mortal Kombat, where there were 4 tag teams in the matchup, and it was tornado tag team rules. So it's a little bit chaotic here. But as you said, with the eliminations in play, one by one, we'll start to thin out the field here.
Daphne rolling to the outside there for a moment, as here's looks like a, I could tell if that's a heel hook or a leg lock there by Belle on Gamora. Gamora able to fight out of it, putting a lot of pressure on that leg region nonetheless. Velma gonna go underneath the ring here again with the Beam Tornado style rules. There's no disqualifications. Weaponry can come into play, and she's gonna target Elsa with that steel chair. Oh, and then right into Belle's face as well.
We're just throwing these things around here.
Goodness.
Skulls are being smashed in.
Daughters of Thanos on the outside. Gamora back in. Nebula's got herself a kendo stick. Rapunzel's down here on the outside as well. Both the tag team champions in trouble, and oh man, almost a Jedi war going on out there. Anna and Nebula both had kendo sticks. Anna had the better of the exchange there. Now Rapunzel trying to get involved. Here comes Elsa as well.
Even on the inside of the ring though, as down goes Belle again, landing on the steel chair.
This would be massive if Daphne can eliminate Belle. Belle able to kick out though at 1.
Tossed around on the outside as something happening in the middle of the ring. I'm not sure if there was a cover attempt or what, but Ernest Wright got back to his feet. Oh, he got knocked down.
Oh, Josh! Referee is down.
I don't even envy him at all.
No. I know. I guess it depends on who knocks me down here.
I mean, it's hard enough that you have to keep an eye on all the action, but then you get knocked down like that. I mean, thankfully he's right back up to his feet, but man.
You think he was listening to Tub Thumping before this matchup? Gets knocked down, but he gets up again. Oh, what a lariat clothesline there by Nebula to Belle. And a big knee as well there. Nebula Thought she might have been going for a cover there, but instead brings Bell back up to her feet. Series of chops and kicks.
It would be really smart to go into the cover there because you've got so much going on the outside of the ring. Only 2 people are inside the ring right now, so because it's an elimination match, the only person that would be running to try to break up the cover is your tag team partner.
Absolutely. And this running back Paramount here, both the Daughters of Thanos and the Disney Queens inside of the ring right now. Of course, it was a normal tag team matchup in that exchange. Now tornado style rules, all 4 women there as Gamora sent to the outside.
Gamora going to be at a bit of a disadvantage there, as is Nebula. If Nebula gets dropped here, there it is.
Cover to eliminate Nebula, leave Gamora all alone for her team, and Nebula's going to get out at 2.
Now still had enough wherewithal to keep going.
Big knee there to the gut from Daphne Blake to Rapunzel. Now Anna with the kick, Shining Wizard to finish it off.
Letting go looks to be on fire, although as I said that...
Oh!
Oh!
Big Superman punch. Small package suplex there as well.
Let's talk about how Team Let It Go had both of their opponents down in the ring, but then they both immediately got knocked right back down. There's a float over stunner.
Daphne with a knee in the corner. Oh, and now those pumps to the face. Big boot in the corner as well. Anna could be in trouble.
A little smart by Anna, though. She rolled to the outside of the ring, grabbed onto the ropes, so not really in a position to get pinned.
Those steel steps, they have been in use tonight. Rapunzel was just delivered to them moments ago, and now we've got a mosh pit out here at ringside. All 8 women,
man.
all collectively in the same area at the same time.
Look at this mob of action.
The fans that got the front row seats on that side of the ring are getting their money's worth here tonight. It's all going on right in front of them.
Velma sent into the steel steps. Also sent back into the ring.
Big suplex there from Daphne to Anna on the outside. Follows it up with the clothesline. Our cameraman having trouble figuring out where to position as well, as I believe that was Nebula that completely blocked the camera view there for a brief moment.
I think so, but I think we saw just enough of Elsa leaping over the ropes, doing a moonsault to the ringside. She connected an attack on Belle.
Belle back to her feet inside of the ring. Gamora has not moved since she was sent back in between the ropes. Oh! Might have been playing possum there as Belle misses with the elbow.
Huge boot, and that's exactly what you want to do. Oh,
Hold
wait,
on.
Belle reversing the momentum.
Disarmer locked in. If Gamora taps out and Nebula stands alone for her team, there's nobody but Nebula that would be willing to save Gamora, as you said, and I think Nebula was on her way, but Belle released the hold.
Oh, they're both down. Both members of the Daughters of Thanos are down.
Daphne
Pin
with the
attempts on
cover
both of them.
on Nebula. Kick out there. Belle with the cover on Gamora, and Gamora is done.
Here are your winners.
Okay, I thought this was elimination style. I guess it wasn't. I think I got my matchups confused tonight.
Well, 3 teams just like that have been eliminated from the women's tag team title picture.
They have indeed. That is crazy. 3 former tag teams here. Tag team champions in FWE. Gone just like that. The Disney Queens. Who do they even have left that be willing to be able to challenge them for those tag team titles? We'll have to wait and find out. Thank you all for tuning in to FWE Extra. We'll see you next Thursday night.